Before the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah by God, there was a war between 9 kings. In the Bible, in the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verses 1 through 16, the Bible tells us about a war between 5 southern kings from the Jordan River Plain and 4 northern kings from Mesopotamia. Hence the name, the War of the 9 Kings. The southern forces were made up by the cities of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, and Bela, while the northern forces were made up by the Mesopotamian kingdoms of Elam, Shinar, Elasar, and Gorim, with Elam being the leader of the northern forces. This war takes place during Abraham's time, but we will get to him later. On the 13th year of Chedorlaomer's rule, the king of Elam, over the 5 cities, things got violent. The 5 cities revolted against Chedorlaomer, and of course, he started the campaign to reclaim the cities. Along came his 3 allies, the 3 other kings from the north, and their armies. They would gather together and march through the king's highway to do battle with the cities. The southern forces would build up a defense in the Vale of Siddim, thinking that the natural slime pits, otherwise known as the tar pits, common to that area would help with the defense, but that didn't go as well as they hoped. As the northern forces would clash with the southern forces would be pushed into the tar pits, losing much of their forces. The ones who escaped went into the mountains, including the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, with hardly any defenses left. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah would be plundered, and even some of the citizens were taken captives. Among these captives was Lot, the nephew of Abraham. The northern forces would continue south to establish control over the path leading to Elat, the Red Sea, and to El Paran. After that, the northern forces would march back home, but this time opposite of the way they came, west of the Dead Sea. A survivor would come to Abraham and told him what had happened. Abraham immediately called upon his 318 trained servants to fight for Lot. They followed the northern kings from south of Jerusalem. As the northern kings marched home, they were intercepted by Abraham near Damascus, by the city of Dan. Abraham routed the enemy, continuing to attack Tehobah north of Damascus, and defeated King Chedorlaomer's forces, and even killed Chedorlaomer, which would be called the slaughter of Chedorlaomer. In the aftermath, Abraham would rescue his nephew and others that were taken captive, even taking back the goods they had taken from Sodom and Gomorrah. After that, he would return home. He would be blessed by Melchizedek, king of Salem, who brought out bread and wine, and Abraham gave him a tenth of the plunder. Bera, king of Sodom, came to Abraham and thanked him, asking then for the return of his people, and that he could keep all the goods. Abraham declined keeping any of the plunder, saying, I lift up mine hand unto the Lord, the most high God, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abraham rich. He only accepted for his 318 men and Amorite neighbors food. This was the first war ever recorded in the Bible. This is how God helped a small force defeat a large force. Nothing is impossible. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.